Let's react. Open Sesame. Archboy Chosen Man. Like, subscribe, and enjoy the reaction. The most honest anime dude out there. Anime fan, man. Y'all know me, man. I'm gonna give it up. When animated deviated from the manga, went horribly wrong. I'm curious to see the ranking. I'm curious to see if it was really bad or if it wasn't. Especially because VidTube usually like hypes up everything. So I'm very curious to see what he thinks when it went horribly wrong. Tokyo Ghoul better be in this. Promise the Neverland should be in this too. Promise the Neverland better be in this. Let's continue.
Adaptations are an interesting bunch. Sure, we're all here because we love the medium, but it doesn't take staying too long into the fandom to see that these adaptations can be a mixed bag. Yet, translating something from novel or comic format into animation with limited airtime means that sometimes adaptations must be more pragmatic. There may be some cut corners, some minor changes, and so forth. However, these adaptation changes can range from good expansions to the existing material, or downright franchise or series killers.
I'm glad that he put Boruto up there. Boruto ruined Naruto, but it's not Boruto's fault because Boruto should never have been created. It's pretty simple. Because I'm glad that we're saying this now because what people wanted was Minato. They wanted the old heads to get shine. They had the Minato manga release, and everyone loves that little volume, whatever it's specifically called. That's all Naruto. If you wanted to make more money, you could have just went that route and not ruined the franchise. Boruto, you're fucking trash.
Say in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Opinions on these are mixed, but for today's list, here are 8 anime I've seen.
If you like Boruto, especially early on, you're a glizzy gladiator.
That have adaptations completely going off rails at certain points. We're talking completely new arcs, major storyline changes, super questionable presentations and such. Opinions may vary, but I don't think most of the decisions on this list did the source material too good. Ready to go through a ride of some of the more notorious anime adaptations that I've watched? Well, here we go. Let's start with Agame ga Kill.
Oh, this is interesting.
Agame ga Kill had everything that would make a popular show back in the day. Great action, attractive characters, characters falling like flies. It's an unpredictable whirlwind of chaos that didn't pull punches, and it immediately found its way to the hearts of people. It came in so headstrong and impactful, and it unfortunately led to its eventual downfall. It's got a lot of pacing issues to fix, and unlike the manga's more moderate and detailed development of the characters, the anime went all in on the fast-paced Crash TV-style approach. With
That's kind of interesting. I'm sorry to cut him off. That's kind of interesting. Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie, because we watched the Agame ga Kill, and it wasn't that good to me. But when I first watched it back in the day, like, it was amazing. Even, like, well, not even back in the day, like, when I finally watched it, like, really sat down and really watched it all, because it aired on Adult Swim, obviously. Like, 2015, 2016, I feel like. Like, it was good when I watched it. So it's kind of tough. Like, looking back on it now, these are, like, valid points, but it's tough because in the moment when this dropped, this was, like, super fire. Like, super fire. The only thing I didn't like at the end when I rewatched it, though, when I watched it even the first time, was, like, the ending of it. It was just, and I know the ending wasn't, like, what it was supposed to be, but I thought it could have been, like, just way better, and then they never really beat her. It was weird.
They're pumping out arc after arc. A lot of the important aspects simply just weren't there anymore. Mind you, the deaths and the fighting still made for an entertaining watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she does lose. I forgot. I'm not even gonna lie, I guess. Sorry, y'all. That's how, like, fast the pacing was. But it was...
But compared to what the manga got, it felt really lacking. It's like part of the soul of the source material was stripped away thanks to the decisions made by the anime team. Oh, and there's also the original ending. The signs were there all throughout, but the deviation did come to a head as the series approached the climax. From the same period...
So, I just want to say this, though. Even though those are all good points, it's definitely a forgotten show. People don't show love no more. I would say it helped ratings. Like, it didn't hurt ratings. So, like, if that's what they were going for, I feel like they succeeded. Like, I don't want to hold it for that. Like, if you look back and you really go rewatch it, you're like, this is not that good of a show. But, if I'm going to be honest, at that time, it was super popular and a hit on Adult Swim. 100% hit. It was a hit. Didn't like the ending. Like you said, the ending was a deviation from the manga. I will say, in the moment, though, when it was going crazy, that thing was a hit. It was dark. You didn't know what was going to happen. And, yeah, that thing was a hit. Death was crazy as hell. Super attractive looking, obviously. And you were like, yo, she's crazy. Don't think that was, yeah. But the pacing and, like, character building and all that, facts. It had the energy. Facts. That's all I'm going to say. You rewatch it, you're like, it's not that good. But when it first came out, that thing was fire. That thing said, especially Western, United States of America. We loved it. It was hot.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Sick of all the ads.
Like, so I don't want to like just. He has a great point. Like, it won't be a cult classic, but that thing in the day, it succeeded what it needs to do. Let's see Tokyo Ghoul though. Biggest fall off in anime history.
Now, this is a notorious one. The first season of Tokyo Ghoul came into much fanfare. It's everywhere, and people were eating up the show in droves. In its first season, Tokyo Ghoul already felt different from the manga counterpart, especially in terms of pacing and presenting the strong emotions evoked by the manga art. That's just one of the inevitable wrinkles that happens when the transition from print to TV takes place.
I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't tell in season 1. Cause like his like it was kind of like it wasn't like Tokyo Revengers where like bro was just trash. It was like, damn, like bro's going through like he's really a normal kid that just gets hoed. Kind of like we were talking about this recently, like kind of like like way better than even Midoriya. Like Midoriya crying a lot. It was like, oh yeah, Midoriya, but come on, man. Sometimes you got to like this dude. He was just like he just gets hoed. It was like more like Gohan, like when Gohan would cry in Dragon Ball Z. Like you felt bad for him. Like it didn't feel like a damn bro, suck it up, like get stronger. It was like bro, like he's getting hoed, bro. This is terrible. Like Gohan's 5, having to fight like fucking Frieza. You know what I'm saying? Like in the when as soon as he was born, he basically had to save his father from rats. You know what I'm saying? Like he's fighting Nappa right at like 4. Okay, like these are like this is like you know what I'm saying. Like this was one of the great balance of like a character that wasn't the toughest, was like weak, but it wasn't like he was just like a punk. It was like bro, you genuinely just like felt bad for him and you were with him. So in the gory part, this brought gore anime to the mainstream, brought it back because Berserk brought it to mainstream in the 90s, late 90s. This brought it back on the scene. Facts.
Isn't inevitable, however, is how the anime team decided to butcher the second season, and it just got worse and worse from that point on. Speed running through arcs, adding nonsensical plot points, changes that simply derailed the tone of the series, and seemingly directionless progression. There's just so many things wrong with the Tokyo Ghoul sequels that made them a very confusing addition to the successful first season. Even the involvement of the series creator didn't save things. And there's the classic thing about the second season editions that promptly got forgotten when the third one rolled around and tried righting the ship that shouldn't have been steered away in the first place, all in batches of 12 episodes. What a waste, right?
They ask you how you are.
Yeah, this is like one of the greatest animes of all time. Kaneki's moment oh my god, Kaneki's moment with Jason, that was one of the most iconic moments of all, still one of the most iconic moments of all time. Like that was because I think this came out after Hunter x Hunter, but I hadn't watched Hunter x Hunter yet because Hunter x Hunter 2011. Like that scene was like almost as hyped as like when Gon like snapped on P2. Like that like moment of like him like really snapping and breaking after the torture that Jason gave him, like bro, that was like an insane like hyped moment. Like that was a crazy moment. So they really showed like this was a great anime, and it really just showed. Like I love season 1. I didn't have any faults with season 1. Season 2, like the time skip, he's right. Like they paced the arc super like crazy. Like even him getting with the girl, like they barely talk to each other, and then in the future seasons they have a child together. And it was like, bro, he doesn't even talk. Like, he's like numb as hell. Like how did you fall in? Bro, you not even like a. It was weird. It just got very weird. Like I don't even know like whose idea it was. It's like the success. Like this is where I will say like unlike Akame Got Killed, like them rocking with just like trying to put stuff out, trying to just go pure action and trying to go these like random fights and super gory and F the plot didn't help the popularity at all. Like it killed the popularity. Whereas at least with Akame Got Killed, it wasn't the right thing to do, but at that point in time, it carried the popularity. It did what it's supposed to do. This did not do what it's supposed to do. I have no idea what that did. It's like the success just came at them too fast. You know what I'm saying? It's like when someone becomes a one-hit wonder. And it's like you get all the success and it's like there's so much pressure and you just fold like a lawn chair.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
Oh, Dead Man Wonderland? Oh yeah, Dead Man Wonderland was fire too.
Next up is a devilishly familiar face for girls in the late 2000s, Black Butler.
What's going on? Welcome. We're doing when animated deviated from the manga and went horribly wrong, and then we have the review of Hell's Paradise.
This is quite a popular show that I haven't been able to talk about on this channel, mainly because of the target audience. Still, Black Butler is a nice show that I've gotten around to watching over a decade ago, and I did enjoy it. Girls love the show for the charismatic characters and handsome lead, as well as the boys love vibes, but even guys can enjoy it for the mystery and the action, plus a very artistic presentation.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that weird, that stuff, no comment. I'm not a fan of that stuff, but it's a very dark show. Which I am. I'm afraid of a very dark show.
Fortunately though, half of season 1 was anime original filler. Well, it's not bad, and I feel that the
Tokyo Ghoul didn't do too horribly. The only horrible season of anime would be what? Season 2, bro. The time skip was crazy. Season 3 was just obviously
filler makes for a nice wrap up to what was gearing up to be a self-contained first series. Season 2 came. That one was a completely filler what-if scenario, and people really didn't like it back then. It also didn't help that it seemed to once again try to wrap up the story. Then Book of Circus came to adapt more of the manga, and it's presented in a way where the anime team just straight up pretending that season 2 never even existed. The fandom was still alive in the 2010s, and that could have played a hand in greenlighting Book of Circus, subsequent seasons, and the live action. Still, that doesn't change how season 2 really soured on the fans, and the hype for the series just wasn't there anymore. You can say that for any series that's been around for several years or so, but I just can't help but feel that season 2 compounded those worries.
I'm not too. I've watched all of Black Butler, but I'm kind of like, because I know there's like super old animation of it. It was like obviously the graphics don't look as good. If I'm going off of like what I remember, I will say that you always thought like it wrapped up and the series was like done. It seems like they didn't think they were getting another series every time, and then they were like, "Oh, we are getting another series." Oh, damn! Like, you know, and that's my homie did say that like a lot of like animes. That's why a lot of animes take so long to get a second season and stuff. Like they really don't know if they're going to get a second season or a third season or a follow up. So it's because there's so many animes getting pushed out like constantly at studios. So that's what I heard. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to like give people the benefit of the doubt, but yeah. Season 2, it's okay at best, but not horrible. That's a hot take. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If I'm remembering, like, if season 2 was like him losing his memory, that was trash. Because I always mix up like with fucking Tokyo Ghoul seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
My God.
So I don't want to give y'all gonna be like, you're giving Black Butler a bailout. I do know that it's expensive to make these animes, so a lot of animes don't know if they're gonna get a second season. That's why it takes so long. I don't like that in anime, but it is the reality of the situation. So they might have really thought they weren't gonna get another season, so they like try to wrap it up, which is tough.
Since we're talking about demons and the supernatural, how's Blue Exorcist holding up?
This is interesting. I wondered what happened to it. It's kind of like
another infamous one from the same studio. Blue Exorcist is one of the shonen hotstarts in the 2000s, joining the likes of D. Grayman, Hitman Reborn, and all those titles other anime fans might have heard of. Unfortunately, it did have the curse of having a poor adaptation. The first part of season 1 starts off fine, but they've run out of material at a little over the halfway mark and started creating filler that's just not as good. To say that it left a bad taste in people's mouths would be an understatement, and it looks as if the anime never recovered after that. Then came the second season, which made things a lot worse, even as it tried to right the ship midway into its run. It suffered the same fate as Black Butler, which is why it's the first show that came to my mind after spending my time talking about the former. It tried to salvage itself with the Brotherhood treatment, but it just didn't work out. Deviation isn't a bad thing in a vacuum. When you make original content that doesn't hold a candle to the part where you're adapting from the manga, I mean, it's easy for fans to pick up on it and pick it apart. It was such a shame to, because I'm a sucker for these modern supernatural action series. Blue Exorcist as a series, I mean, it's not awful, but you're better off going manga for this one.
Go read the fucking manga.
Oh, so when he lost his memory, that was season 3. I just gotta remember season 2. I don't really remember season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul that, because I always mix them up. So season 2 was when he got they sped past the fight scenes. That is, you're 100% right. Yeah, no. Season 2 they sped past the fight scenes. That's what they did. It just, everything was revealed too fast, in my opinion. But I thought season 3, I have to rewatch. Put down in the comments. Let me for sure. Blue Exorcist though, I don't really. Even though the anime Deviation to me it just wasn't that bad, but the hype it is like one of the forgotten like super hot shonen animes, and it's kind of weird that it's just kind of in this weird stigma. But I guess that's what happens when you just catch up to your manga too quickly, and it kind of sucks. Like I just feel like if I'm being honest, I just feel like it just kind of got hold in a. It was released in a different type of generation that wasn't putting up with filler that much. Like Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, these huge with super filler, like they came out in a different era, like just a different time. Like their fan bases were already set, they're already who they are. So when they caught up to their manga and they released a whole bunch of filler, like it wasn't that bad. Like I feel like Blue Exorcist probably just got hold in a different era. Because even though like no one's gonna sit there and be like Bleach's filler is amazing. You fuck about Bleach's filler. I don't care about Naruto's filler. One Piece filler arcs. I just think Blue Exorcist just got hold.
God damn it.
Every bloody time.
And if you laughed or got angry as I gave you memories of these shows, then feel free to like the video and give the channel a subscription while you're at it. After the break, it's time for a reset, and we're going back to the time of Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh man. I'm not gonna lie, hot take. I actually really enjoyed Dead Man Wonderland. The ending just was bizarre because it felt like there was a lot of questions still remaining.
Compared to the entries we've tackled so far, Dead Man Wonderland's adaptation failure doesn't seem as criminally awful. After all, those who've never read the manga can really enjoy Dead Man Wonderland's anime adaptation.
Facts.
It's not something like Tokyo Ghoul's sequels that made a mess of things by speed running through arcs and such, and as a standalone product, the Dead Man Wonderland anime is decent. However, it's when you start flipping through the manga that you'll realise how much was robbed from you. It isn't a stretch to say that the anime version of Dead Man Wonderland is of a different genre. What you have here are some significant plot points that were removed. They were left out for what reason? So there could be more focus on the action side of things. Again, not a bad decision when you think about it in a vacuum, but when you consider that what made Dead Man Wonderland so cool as a series is its terrifying visuals and a top-notch story that's keyed in on the horror side of things, you just can't help feel but wonder.
Tell you, this is a time like all the horror and gore like was popular.
The modern Berserk just...
Bro didn't talk about, he just said sure plot points. And on top of that, damn it, they left us on a cliffhanger. Like, nobody knew what the hell, like, bro, I'm still confused about who the first nigga was that destroyed Rose Class. Like, they didn't answer no questions. And those might be the plot points he's talking about, but, even the regular one leads you on a weird clip, and you're like, is there another season? And you're like, I don't, okay. I would be down to bring back Dead Man Wonderland. Rework it. I think Dead Man Wonderland needs to come back. Like, even the OVA still left out answers. That's what, like, bro, there were so many questions still left. Like, bro, it was so weird. It was like there's no second season for Dead Man. Okay, good talk. Season 2 was when he joined the villain group with that one girl's brother. I think I remember what you're talking about. Everything, the butterfly dude, I think. Let's continue though.
It sucked all the heart away from Miura's masterpiece.
Oh my god. And I love Berserk. It's in my top 5 anime of all time. I'll say this before we continue. Stop with this 3D animation. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. It's not good. Especially with the Berserk is. Berserk is one of the greatest, I'm going to say one of the greatest anime of all time. And it was the first gory anime that became mainstream. And people knew that you can make gore anime and make it popular. That's what got us Tokyo Ghoul, got us Dead Man Wonderland, which got you Attack on Titan. Parasite Maxim, one of the greatest gore animes of all time, action and bro, fire. And they stop with this 3D animation, bro. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. Jesus Christ, bro.
A modern adaptation that makes fans go berserk. I've made fun of the CG aplenty on this channel already, but for everyone's sake, you can take a look at the CG now. Can you see where this goes wrong? It's one of the best dark fantasy series out there, boasting a fantastic atmosphere fitting for the
Made in Abyss, all the gore animes have to pay homage to this guy.
Genre, and some great visuals and scenery. Yeah, it's hard to take those things seriously when you have visuals this bad. I mean, it's a laughing stock.
Terrible.
And that's no exaggeration. And that's not even considering the mess of a story we're presented with as well. Things were toned down or censored, and while it's understandable considering this is an anime adaptation, those changes just took away what people loved Berserk for. The sad part about this is that Berserk already had a good adaptation, relatively speaking. The 90s anime line was good already, however the newer fans would inevitably flock to the more modern version, and what they'll be greeted by is a completely...
Wait, he just said okay? Hey yo.
away what people loved Berserk for.
Hey yo.
The sad part about this is that Berserk already had a good adaptation, relatively speaking.
Had a good anime. Bro, like, this nigga just made me hot, bro. A good anime. Bro, what are you saying? Like, bro, y'all gonna be like, yo, you glitchy gladiated Berserk, bro. And just a good, bro. Bro, this is a good, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Compared to the manga, you can see why he said that. But if I'm comparing anime to anime, which deviated from the manga when we're wrong. You know what? Fair. The manga readers want to say legendary, cool. But it is a great anime. Berserk is a great anime. Berserk is, I'm gonna say it again, Berserk is a great anime. I don't read manga. Berserk is a great anime. So the reason why him saying a good anime is make me hot is because Berserk is a legendary anime. The fact that him calling it good to me is wild. That's a wild take. Especially with all that BS he be hyping up. When he be like, oh, this anime looks good. This anime is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's got so much hype, bro. Nah, bro. Come on, YouTube. Come on. I know you read the manga for Berserk, bro. You can hype up that. This is a great anime adaptation. And one of the saddest animes of all time.
That Berserk already had a good adaptation,
great.
Relatively speaking.
Great.
The 90s anime line was good already. However, the newer fans would inevitably flock to the more modern version, and what they'll be greeted by is a completely watered down and unintentionally funny version of what's one of the best dark fantasies the manga industry has given.
You know, this is the darkest of all time. So I don't know. You can't censor Berserk. You can't censor Berserk. Yeah, no, you cannot censor Berserk. Berserk is the anime that you can't censor. No, you got to go 100% dark.
Us.
Yeah, I love
What's
Guts
up,
theme.
everyone?
Yeah, plays Guts theme. Yeah, he plays Guts like, bro, like that's one of the greatest animes of all time. Like, I didn't like good animation.
Natsu just can't get a break, and I'll talk about Negima. While we're at it, I'll also give a shout out to UQ Holder, which, like a lot of the bad anime adaptations, attempted to cram stuff in 13 episodes, creating a weird, chaotic story that's just really different from the manga version. However, that had a predecessor, both literally as a manga and as a recipient of the adaptation curse in the form of Negima. The sad part is that the anime industry had multiple tries to get Negima right. There was a 2004 adaptation by Dean, which is already ringing some alarm bells, and a 2006 take by Shaft. The 2004 anime...
Do y'all know this anime? I don't know this anime. Yuki Holder was ass. I don't know what this is.
Did the usual protocols when source material is running out and gave a filler second half. It's got a lot of fan service, adult humor and stuff like that, yet it's presented in a world that looks at home with the usual shonen hits.
I don't like home people for filler because it's like I said, bro, like Bleach and Naruto just had like Bleach, Naruto, they just have like large fan bases, right? Like, you know, they just have large fan bases. Like, I can't really. So they wrote it out. Like, I just feel like they just didn't have a large fan base to write it out. Or it was a different area when it dropped. But it looks like it was in that same area when One Piece and them dropped. So, based on the animation. But, like, I don't like whole franchises because they have to release filler. Like, just not drop anything. It's kind of hot. That's kind of a hot take, especially when you get the, like I said, how hard it is to get studios to get, as an anime, to get the studios to get that money secured for a season. So, I don't like whole anime because of that. Like, that's kind of... It's just kind of like messed up. Like, there's nothing really they can say. Like, because we go back in time, like, bro, Dragon Ball Z had like many times they had like 40 episode standoffs, nigga. Like Frieza and Goku like looked at each other for like 30 episodes before they actually fought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, technically that's not filler, but they was looking at each other for 30 episodes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a lot of people just stopped watching then, like, you know, like, but they had already built up a fan base with
It feels like a massive waste having them wasted on lackluster adaptations. But hey, the world was a lot different back then, and tastes and market values were different. Maybe someone could take a crack at it this time. Of course, we're saving the best for last, Promised Neverland. What a masterful disaster this was. When Promised Neverland came out as an anime, it immediately made an impact. It came out to thunderous applause as a show that mastered the use of suspense, atmosphere, and all aspects of production to create a horror anime that's wonderfully unique on its own. It became one of the most popular modern series out there, and a second season was inevitable. So, what did they do? Maybe skip arc after arc, doing an insane speedrun towards the end, as well as a slew of other extremely questionable decisions. I don't know what happened here, but the second...
Wow, that nigga could have said spoiler alert, for sure.
Second season came out not too long after the end of the manga, so I guess they just wanted to find a way to animate the ending. Hey, at least they broke the curse of anime adaptations getting their plug pulled in like the third arc out of 8 because there's no more ongoing manga to promote. Man, this is not the way to do it. And it ruined all the goodwill the fans had of the series. You still see Promised Neverland being talked about fondly these days.
Yo, this was probably one of the greatest. Asking any suggestions? No, I'm not. I'm not reacting to anything else. Sorry, buddy. This is probably one of the most like natural anime hits I think I've ever seen in my life. It was a different concept, great show. This one and like Ranking of Kings, I would say are like the animes that I can think of recently that just had a natural hit. Like they were just natural hits. And season 1 is goated. I really don't know why they sped run. There was really no reason to. Like you said, they weren't like super caught up to the manga, so I just don't. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think they would get a season 2, but once you know you're getting a season 2, you are worried about season 3. But with it being this type of hit, like I just don't. Guys, I really would promise. Like man, I don't know. I really don't know why they chose like them. I don't have no benefit of doubt. Like I genuinely am confused why they went this route. It was making of one of the greatest animes of all time. Like I said, people appreciated the new concept. It wasn't a fucking isekai. It wasn't no fantasy. Wasn't no fan service reincarnation. Like wasn't no. It was like a mystery thriller, new different concept, dark as hell, and kept you on your toes. Like, and you were genuinely questioning stuff. And I just don't. This is one of the most questionable. For sure. All the other ones, they came on a different type of anime where it was like, yo, no, focus on these fight scenes, focus on this. What made this anime popular literally was everything in season 1, and they basically took it all away. And I was like, wait, why would you get rid of everything that made you popular? This one I don't know, and this is probably one of the biggest anime follows of all time. They deviated, and there was no reason to. There was literally no reason to. It kind of fucking sucks though, like to give it a reboot because you know what the fuck is gonna happen. I don't even know. They just killed it. They killed it because now fucking just got fucking spoiler alert about old boy coming back. So it's like it's just devastating, honestly speaking. But yeah. Overall, we just wanted to talk about anime deviated from the manga. I was curious to see what I didn't know about. I think some of these to me just got hold being in different eras where no one wanted to sit and watch the filler. They just didn't have a large enough fan base for it. Others, obviously, the studios, I think, especially with Black Bullet, they just didn't think they would get another season, so they were trying to wrap everything up quickly. I do know it's very hard to get those anime seasons, but this was fascinating to see, Benito really like talk his talk, and give takes. Because I feel like a lot of times he just hypes everything up, to be honest. Especially when it's like the new anime of the season. But I respect him too, because like I said, he dives all into all this anime stuff, and it's hard to please anime fans in general, me included. So, it's your boy Chosen, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, enjoy my reaction. How did y'all feel about a lot of different things? What do y'all think were the reasoning behind a lot of all this anime deviating? Like, what do y'all think is the reason for some of these? And were y'all devastated by any of the deviation? It's your boy Chosen, man. Like, subscribe, enjoy the reaction. Let me know what should I do next, man. I'm out.